There are several other important magics of the Valyrians besides the ability to tame dragons and volcanoes, and the most famous of them is definitely their ability to make magically indestructible and lightweight steel, known as Valyrian steel.
You're not a good listener.
Valyrian steel. I always wanted some Valyrian steel.
It's mostly used to make swords and other weapons, but you'll also see Valyrian steel crowns, jewelry, suits of armor, or potentially anything else that you might use steel for. Ultra lightweight and indestructible steel obviously gives you a huge advantage when you're talking swords.
Did you notice the dagger the killer used? It's too fine a weapon for such a man. The blade is Valyrian steel, the handle dragon bone. Someone gave it to him.
Valyrian steel swords are incredibly valuable and sought after. There actually are a decent amount of Valyrian steel swords floating around Westeros, and you can check out this video I did about where they all are and how they could be used in the Winds of Winter. But the thing is that all of those swords came from Valyria before the Doom, because nobody, not even the Targaryens, knows how to make more of that steel. It can be reworked by the occasional Cohoric smith, but they can't make any more of it. House Targaryen possesses two ancestral Valyrian swords, Blackfire, wielded by King Viserys, and Dark Sister, which is wielded by Prince Daemon. A couple of other Valyrian swords will come into the story in later seasons, but it's just those two belonging to House Targaryen that we'll see at first. Valyrian steel and all Valyrian artifacts will also serve as important storytelling devices on House of the Dragon that tie the Targaryens to their Valyrian ancestry. Daemon and Rhaenyra reportedly speak to each other in High Valyrian quite a bit, and it seems like Daemon is giving Rhaenyra a piece of Valyrian steel jewelry in this scene, no doubt an important symbol of their shared heritage.
Now I haven't gone much into it, but there was another very powerful group in Valyria who were not necessarily the Dragon Riders. And those were the people who practiced blood magic, which, there's some overlap in the Venn diagram with the Dragon Riders, but not necessarily complete overlap. And they were just the regular people. There were a lot of slaves, because there was a slave society. There were a lot of poor people. I think of ancient Rome, something like that. I don't know that they would have any reason to practice incest.
In the ancient books, it's written that a warrior will draw a burning sword from the fire. And that sword shall be Lightbringer. Lord of light, come to us in our darkness. We offer you these false gods. Take them and cast your light upon us. For the night is dark and full of terrors. The night is dark and full of terrors. After the long summer, darkness will fall heavy on the world. Stars will bleed.
We need to stop her.
The cold breath of winter will freeze the seas.
Oh no.
And the dead shall rise in the north.
Your heartbeat is extraordinarily slow. You're a mutant.
To quote the World of Ice and Fire directly, "Yet the great empire of the dawn was not reborn, for the restored world was a broken place, where every tribe of men went its own way, fearful of all the others. And war and lust and murder endured, even to our present day, or so the men and women of the further east believe." The World of Ice and Fire tells us that the Bloodstone Emperor worshipped the black stone that fell from the sky, but it does not in fact tell us when this black stone arrived. The stone could have very well existed since the ascension of the Dawn Emperor.
Guess I found the ooze. Or it found me. Face it, Spidey. Alien life has permanently bonded itself to your suit.
The stone itself is clearly a reference to the work of Lovecraft. It is otherworldly, and is known to cause terrifying dreams that can lead to madness. The Black Stone is mentioned multiple times in our story, including but not limited to the Sea Stone Chair, the Monument of Toad Isle, and the base of the High Tower.
It's a fragment of a meteorite that landed outside the city years ago. It's where we found that. I'm wearing an alien. We call it a symbiote. It bonds at the subcellular level with its host. In our case, Harry Osborn. He gave it to you? Not exactly. I was hurt, and it chose you. Which means it's more dangerous than I could have imagined. We need to call Oscorp. We need to destroy it.
Of course, so-called gods in Lovecraftian lore are really just supreme beings far surpassing the intelligence of people. Humans are inconsequential to them and merely tolerated. I would argue that there is evidence that such beings exist in Martin's universe as well.
It was an unprecedented roundup of criminals of every ilk. Your brother made a public show of it, meting out the summary judgments himself, until they needed a two-horse cart to haul away the resulting dismemberments when it was done. Prince cannot be allowed to act with this kind of unchecked impunity.
The world of Ice and Fire also counts the Bloodstone Emperor as the first High Priest of the Starry Wisdom, a Nefari's cult. The name is again borrowed directly from Lovecraft. In his lore, the Church of the Starry Wisdom worships Nyarlathotep, also known as the Chaos King. So we have a mysterious, insidious black stone, a malevolent old city hiding in a frozen desert, and a baleful cult that worships the god of chaos, all of which would be expected if Lovecraftian-type entities were present in the A Song of Ice and Fire universe. And since it was the Bloodstone Emperor's worship of the Black Stone and his other dark practices that were believed to have brought about the Long Night, does that mean that it was the will of these so-called gods? There are multiple places in A Song of Ice and Fire where these entities seem likely to reside, including Stegyth and the Heart of Winter, as I discussed in my video on Ashai. Kadath is another, which makes even more sense considering its proximity to Yi Ti. Could the being at Kadath have been responsible for the fall of the Dawn Empire, and perhaps even the Long Night itself? If so, then why?